Hey gang! I'm Fahaam, your financial freedom guru. Let's turn your dreams into billionaire success stories. Today, we're diving into the life and journey of one of the most private yet most successful billionaires in the world, a man whose name is not shouted on magazine covers like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, but whose wealth and influence stand among the greatest. We're talking about Dieter Schwarz, the German billionaire behind Lidl and Kaufland, the empire that reshaped European retail and made him one of the richest individuals on the planet. His story is not about flashy headlines or luxury yachts, it's about strategic thinking, discipline, and understanding what customers really want. And that is exactly why his journey is one you need to hear if you're chasing financial freedom. Because while he stayed out of the spotlight, his business decisions have changed how millions of people shop for their daily groceries, and his empire proves that wealth is built not just on ideas but on execution, patience, and a clear vision. Dieter Schwarz was born on September 24, 1939, in Heilbronn, Germany. His father, Joseph Schwarz, was already in the retail world, working as a partner in the Südfrüchte Großhandel Lidl and Amp Company, a company focused on wholesale fruits. For many kids, their playground is a park, but for Dieter, his playground was the warehouse floor, surrounded by goods, supply trucks, and the business of buying and selling. This early exposure planted seeds that would later grow into an empire. He didn't inherit billions, but he inherited something much more important, the mindset of a businessman. He was curious, observant, and disciplined. By the 1960s, Dieter joined his father's company and began learning the ropes. The post-war economy in Germany was changing rapidly. Supermarkets and retail chains were becoming the new face of shopping, and people wanted affordable, reliable goods. Dieter recognized this shift before many others did. He understood that the middle class wanted value for their money. That observation would later turn into the foundation of Lidl and Kaufland. In 1973, Dieter opened the very first Lidl discount store. It wasn't fancy. It didn't have glamorous aisles or shiny lights. What it had was something much more important: rock-bottom prices, efficient layouts, and a business model that kept costs so low that customers felt they were always winning. The idea was simple: strip away the unnecessary, focus on the essentials, and give people quality at a discount. This concept, called the discount supermarket model, was revolutionary at the time. And Dieter was not copying, he was perfecting. He built a system where stores were small but efficient, the range of products was limited but carefully selected, and logistics were optimized to keep costs down. He wasn't chasing prestige, he was chasing scale. The magic of Lidl was in its simplicity. People came in, bought what they needed quickly, saved money, and left satisfied. It was fast, efficient, and addictive. Lidl grew rapidly, expanding beyond Germany and into Europe. By the 1980s, Lidl had become a household name, and its low-cost, high-quality approach was winning markets across borders. But Dieter was not done. He wanted to tap into a different side of retail, one that could serve larger stores and bigger product ranges. In 1984, he launched Kaufland, a hypermarket chain that operated on a different scale compared to Lidl. If Lidl was about efficiency and essentials, Kaufland was about variety and volume. It gave customers the choice of groceries, household goods, clothing, and more under one roof, still at competitive prices. This two-pronged strategy was genius. Lidl attracted budget-conscious shoppers looking for speed and affordability, while Kaufland captured families who wanted one-stop shopping. By balancing both models, Dieter created an empire that dominated retail across Europe, and both brands complemented each other rather than competed. The expansion was aggressive but calculated. Country by country, Lidl and Kaufland entered markets, often disrupting existing local retailers with their unbeatable pricing and operational excellence. Shoppers everywhere, from France to Poland, from Spain to the Czech Republic, welcomed the arrival of these stores, and the Schwarz Group grew into one of the largest retail companies in the world. What makes Dieter Schwarz fascinating is not just his business empire but also his personal style. Unlike many billionaires who enjoy the spotlight, Dieter is famously private. He avoids interviews, public appearances, and even photographs. Very few people even know what he looks like today. He lives quietly in Heilbronn, his hometown, and rarely makes headlines. This privacy isn't by accident, it's a conscious choice. For Dieter, wealth is not about fame, it's about impact. He has often said through his foundation that success is about responsibility. In 1999, Dieter stepped down from active management, ensuring the company would survive beyond him. But instead of handing it to family members or selling it off, he placed Lidl and Kaufland under the Schwarz Foundation. This move secured the company's future, protected it from being broken up, and ensured that it would continue growing under professional leadership. It was a masterstroke of long-term vision. The Schwarz Foundation also focuses on education, research, and community development, showing that Dieter believes in giving back without attaching his name to fame. His philanthropy is as private as his life, but its impact is massive. Today, Dieter Schwarz's net worth is estimated to be over $40 billion, placing him among the richest people on Earth. But what makes his story truly special is how he got there. He didn't invent a new technology, he didn't rely on hype, and he didn't chase media attention. He built his empire by understanding everyday people, by mastering logistics, and by staying disciplined. That's a lesson for anyone who dreams of financial freedom. You don't always need to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes you just need to execute better, smarter, and more consistently than others. The success of Lidl and Kaufland proves that customers reward value, and that a simple idea executed at massive scale can generate billions. For those chasing wealth, the Dieter Schwarz story is a reminder that strategy and patience matter as much as vision and ambition. Think about it, millions of people shop at Lidl and Kaufland every single day, often without realizing they are fueling one of the greatest fortunes of our time. That's the beauty of this empire. It is everywhere, and yet the man behind it stays invisible. Another fascinating part of his journey is how he grew during times of skepticism. When Lidl first launched, critics doubted whether people would accept such a stripped-down, minimal shopping experience. But Schwarz understood consumer psychology better than the critics. He knew that price matters, convenience matters, and efficiency matters. And he doubled down on those strengths. The result? A network of stores that today spans over 30 countries with more than 12,000 branches combined for Lidl and Kaufland. His empire employs hundreds of thousands of people, making the Schwarz Group one of the biggest employers in Europe. Think about the ripple effect of that. Not only did he build wealth for himself, but he created jobs, changed retail, and reshaped communities. His private nature also adds to his mystique. In an era where billionaires tweet every thought and build public personas, Schwarz proves that you don't need to be loud to be powerful. He lets his empire do the talking. And for those of us learning about financial freedom, there's a powerful takeaway here. Success doesn't always require the spotlight. Sometimes the best strategy is to work quietly, stay disciplined, and let your results shine for you. Schwarz's empire shows that building wealth is not about showing off but about building something sustainable that can outlast you. Dieter's journey also tells us something deeper about financial freedom. It's not about chasing trends, it's about understanding fundamentals. He didn't chase glamorous industries or temporary fads. He focused on groceries, the most basic human need. Food retail will never go out of demand. By focusing on this stable, essential sector, he built a fortune that is resilient to economic downturns. When other businesses crash during recessions, discount supermarkets like Lidl thrive because people always need affordable food. This kind of foresight is what separates billionaires from the rest. They don't just build wealth, they build resilient systems. As we wrap up the story of Dieter Schwarz, Think about what his journey means for your path to financial freedom. He teaches us that you don't need to be loud to be successful, you don't need to chase every shiny new trend, and you don't need to live for headlines. You need discipline, patience, and a sharp understanding of what people want. Schwarz found his niche, doubled down on it, and expanded relentlessly. His empire is now a monument to the power of strategy and execution. For you, this is a lesson to focus on building something that solves a real problem, scale it step by step, and protect it with long-term vision. Dieter Schwarz may never sit down for interviews or tweet about his billions, but his story is one of the most inspiring examples of financial freedom and billionaire discipline in our time.